Hello everybody, Ninjo X the Enlightened Gamer here. Welcome to a new Enlightened Vlogs. I know some of you might have been expecting a Mind of Ninjo this week, but being that I just got back from my vacation and the announcement that's about to come in this very vlog, I decided to put it off till next week. Which brings me to... I have decided to expand Mind of Ninjo. What was once a show that appeared just slightly less than once a month will now show every other week on Thursday, switching off with Enlightened Vlogs, which is also being expanded because I don't want to give up Enlightened Vlogs. Not only is it a show that I have a fairly easy time producing, unlike Mind of Ninjo, but it's one that I really enjoy. I like being able to talk about deep, political, personal matters with you all, and I don't want to give it up. So what are we doing? First off, the big one, every other week will be a Mind of Ninjo. And on alternating weeks will be vlogs. Also, for vlogs, I'm expanding them in the sense that not only will there be music playing over the back of every vlog now, but every vlog will be a twofer. Meaning that there will be two similar, or in this instance, very drastically different, vlog topics. For this vlog, the first topic is announcement. The second, the Confederate flag. This has always been something that people have tried to talk about. Some people claiming it to be a racist symbol, other people claiming it to be part of history so it should be preserved, but the real matter is that it's a lot deeper than that. And perhaps a lot worse. This is sensitive subject matter, so I'm doing what I do with all sensitive subject matter, and I'm approaching it from a neutral perspective. I know I'm a Caucasian male, and I currently live in one of the northern states that was part of the Union and not the Confederacy. So, to be real honest, I don't have much of a dog in this fight. All I want to do is clear up any confusion. First, I might as well talk about the real issue. This issue was revived when a young white male brought a loaded gun into a largely black church and opened fire, hoping to instigate a race war. In the words of Carthonasi, ignorance and stupidity will never go out of style. There will always be those trying to fight wars where there was no need for bloodshed. Always those attacking without proper provocation. And there will always be those who hate unwarranted, regardless of the facts of the matter. And with the other two bills that recently were approved in the Senate, or the Supreme Court, something like that, it's no doubt that there will be a lot more tension between the remnants of the Confederacy and the remnants of the Union. May even start a new civil war. Though I hope we've grown beyond that. Before I talk to you about any of this, I'm going to talk about another very confusing symbol. Something that has become something that it was not meant to be. The swastika, or swastika. Why'd you say it like that, Ninjo? Because, as I learned from Gaijin Goomba, the swastika actually is a word that breaks down into Sanskrit to translate well-being of the soul. It has nothing to do with hatred. So how did it become this symbol of Nazi Germany? How did it become a symbol of hatred against Jews, blacks, gays, etc.? Because of its interpretation. Many people hear well-being of the soul and they're like, oh, that's a promise to everybody. But Nazi Germany heard well-being of the soul and they thought that it was only for the genetically superior. That by inviting others into their number that are genetically inferior, in their opinion, that you're damaging the well-being of everyone else's soul. The symbol was never created with ill intents. I bet that if you go to Germany, unless you start opening World War II history books, you won't find any swastikas. Certainly not flying on public property. Which is really all that people are trying to do in regards to the Confederate flag now in the States, that there's been another racial violence outbreak. It's not that the flag shouldn't exist. It's not that people shouldn't be able to buy or make their own versions of the Confederate flag. With the internet being what it is, it would be impossible to do so. Impossible to do so? Impossible to do so. You can't erase history. Not even time, for as vast and limitless as its power is, or seems, is up to the task. You can choose to ignore it, but that won't fix anything. In fact, it invites more damage. So what does the Confederate flag mean? Well, it means rebellion. It means secession. The X highlighting the stars on the surface of the flag is basically showing the intentions of the 13 colonies as the southern states perceived them, rising to the top, culling the chaff from the wheat. And in that regard, other than being a bit misguided, it makes a little more sense. However, what a symbol is and what it can become are two entirely different things. Something can start off as a fantastic symbol, and then based off of your perspective, or the perspectives of others, can become a pylon, a marker unifying those that only gather through hate. Now, I'm not saying that everyone that has a Confederate flag hates African Americans. I'm not saying that they all hate homosexuals either, or Latino Americans, or Latinos, or foreigners in general. Not everybody who has a Confederate flag is a xenophobe. There are probably even a few people that have Confederate flags that don't own guns. And I would never say that the flag should be made illegal to obtain, because that would be an infraction of people's rights. But what I am saying is that maybe we should realize that just because something means something to somebody doesn't mean it doesn't mean something different to a lot more somebodies. Something that literally means rebellion, that literally stands for putting your foot down, to many other people means saying, no, you don't have the right to vote. No, you don't have the right to come to our schools. The swastika means well-being of the soul. That's what it literally means. That's what it translates to in Sanskrit. Thank you again, Gaijin Goomba. But to the rest of us, to those who have withered under its tyranny, withered under the tyranny of the Nazi Germans, it means a promise to all non-whites, to all non-blonde, to all people that aren't blonde-haired, blue-eyed, muscle-bound, intellectual, superior human race that doesn't exist, by the way. But it means a symbol of destruction. It means that we're a plague that it hopes to destroy. And that's not what it means. And just like with the Confederate flag, there are, I'm sure, or were, I'm sure, Nazi soldiers who were just brave Germans fighting to defend their country from invasion. I'm sure there were even some that didn't agree with their leader, but that fought to protect their families, their home. That's why this issue is so polarizing. What something actually means and what something is interpreted as meaning are both very real things. Two people can see the same symbol and explain what it means in two very different ways. And symbols, flags, like martyrs, have the ability to be a rallying point. It is impossible to completely get rid of racism, to completely get rid of hatred, ignorance. Until we advance our science well beyond where it is impossible to cure a sociopath or those who have severe mental disorders as such. So I provide to you, at least here within the States, the rest of you outside this country might even not know of this event, that with no real solution available to us, the only solution at all might be to take that flag down off of that public property. And I'm not saying that that's the right solution. I'm also not going to sit here and say that that's trying to erase history, because as I've stated, that is impossible. At least within any realm of science, mathematics, and knowledge that we've obtained as human beings, it's impossible. Until we can pull a Back to the Future, go back in time, and screw up an existing timeline through the grandfather paradox. It's impossible to erase history. As much pain as it might have brought many, many people. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed the very first expanded Enlightened Law. Until next time, I hope you'll consider all sides of the argument. And I hope you will stay enlightened.